This show is made possible by support from landsharks.ca. Visit them for all your coin and swag needs at www.landsharks.ca. And by viewers like you. Thank you for your donations. Some news, some trash talk, and a 5-5 video. It's September 18th, 2010. This is Trackfiles. Hi there, and welcome to Trackfiles. I'm your host, Icenrye. Trackfiles is a video podcast featuring caching news, events, product reviews from guest geocache podcasters, and major milestones, YouTube videos, and lots of other great stuff. My website is trackfiles.tv, and my email address is geoicenrye@icenrye.com. So, what's new? Well, here we are in the fall in Prince George area, and it's time for the 2010 Prince George Caches Cache and Release event. What's a cache and release event? Well, think of it as a feeding frenzy for first to finders. There's been 28 new caches placed here in the Prince George area, and they're all being released at the same time. So everybody comes to a central starting point. We load up our GPS units and go out and let the fun begin. Speaking of which, I got a loaded GPS. I got a very patient camera operator. His name plumbrokeacres. This is actually the host of this event. Thank you, Andrew. And so we're going to go caching. So as I'm on the road, I'll be updating you with some great news articles, some upcoming events, and I've got a really special YouTube video for this episode. But in the meantime, I'm going to hit the road. I'm at a second cache find, and this one was done by my camera operator, PBA. Very deceptive hide. Not that I'm going to give away any spoilers. You know me, I don't give away spoilers. But we're going to do some news articles here. So first we go down to Pennsylvania, where we're here from the Herald Mail. Greencastle, Pennsylvania. There's a new game in town for Greencastle Atrium High School students. Social studies teachers James Thomas on Thursday kicked off a new geocaching club, an entirely different type of extracurricular activity that combines the use of multi-million-dollar military satellite technology, creative thinking, adventure, and a whole lot of fun. The club is designed to attract students to a unique outdoor adventure activity that is part education and part relationship building. Thomas, an avid geocacher himself, said he wanted to start a club that appealed to students not inclined towards more traditional extracurricular activities offered through the school. So there you go, new geocaching club with a little bit of education thrown in. What more could you ask for? Anyway, we found this cache. We're on our way down the road to find the next one. We're out of here. Okay, well, we're a little further down the road. We found a ton of more caches, and we're just on our way for lunch. However, before we go, there's a first to find puzzle cache that was actually put out by my camera operator, PBA. A little bit of puzzle. I've solved the puzzle with no help, really, no help. And it's just down this little trail here, but as usual, I'm not going to give you spoilers. But before we take off, I got another news article. For this one, we go back down to the U.S. From the Loudoun Independent, geocaching. If you hide it, they will come. Geo what? That was my response when I first heard the term geocaching. Geocaching is a high-tech treasure hunt played with the assistance of a geographical positioning system. 6-year veteran geocacher Dave Prepek says he was hooked after finding his first geocache. While he really enjoys challenges presented by the more complex caches, just getting outside in nature is one of his favorite things about geocaching. He has traveled worldwide finding and hiding geocaches. Prepek is one of the founding members of the North Virginia geocaching organization, NovaGo. NovaGo formed 4 years ago to provide support and a discussion forum for the Northern Virginia geocachers at the website www.novago.com. Prepek reports that NovaGo is really a social network for geocachers. Most members of NovaGo are geocachers in general, are families. However, the group reaches out to all geocachers in Northern Virginia and beyond. So hey, it's always good to have us a little organization or some kind of club here in Prince George. We got the Prince George Cachers group. And you get together, you put on great events like the one we're having today. But anyway, I'm heading off down the road because I want to go get me a first to find. And we'll catch up with you later for another news article. Alright, success. Here's the cache. Now, there's a minor problem. There's a lock on the cache, and I don't know if you can hear this or not. The key's inside. So My mission is to figure out how to get the key out of this thing, short of massive destruction. So I'll play around with it for a little while and see what we come up with.
Well, 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Alright, success. It's a little hard to see. Here's the key. We're going to open this sucker up, sign a log, and be on our merry way. Alright, well, as you saw, we got that good first to find, and just across the street from that cache, there's another part of the cache release day. Found it. We're on our way. However, just before we go, another news article. This time, we're going to Chi-Town, where CBS Channel 2 in Chicago reports. Geocaching, a modern-day treasure hunt. Find hidden treasure using GPS systems. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, we have an activity you can do with the whole family. You can think of it as a modern-day hunt for treasure, but not the kind of treasure you might assume. It's not for cache, it's for a geocache. It all begins with satellites above the earth. Using GPS, they can tell you where you are within a few feet. Great article from a local television station, and as usual with all these other news stories, I'll have links to them on my website at trackfiles.tv. Alright, well, we're going to go grab a bite of lunch now, and then we're going to take off and grab some more caches, so we'll catch up with you a little later for some more news stories. I'm just outside the Railway and Forestry Museum here in Prince George. Absolutely great place. Matter of fact, if you're in Prince George, come on down, have a look. Heck knows, might even find a cache around here. Actually, I'm leaning on one. Piece of cake. That's just a little thing hidden underneath there. It took me no time at all to find it. And you may hear the sound of laughter of my camera operator because he just spent the last 15 minutes watching me trying to find this nice easy cache. But anyway, we're here to do another news story, and for this one we're going to Utah. The Daily Herald in Provo, Utah. Lehi Trails opens with geocaching adventures. Lehi Trail Days organizers have opened the 4th year of celebration with a geocaching adventure that will accumulate at the event on Saturday. I think it's a great way to learn more about the trails, and there is a fun scavenger hunt for the kids, said Terry Simpson, Parks, Trails and Tree Advisory Committee Secretary. Committee members are hosting the Trails Day at the Olympic Park, 1650 North, 2650 West, from 9 to 10 a.m. My main thing is that people become familiar with what trails are available to use, said Paula Berg, committee chairperson. Coordinates for the geocaching activity were announced September 9th at the city's website. Each participant uses a GPS device that takes a ticket from a pre-selected location and its cache. They sign a cache log with the date, their name, and any comments and return the cache to its hidden location. People can go out and hunt for them and get their tickets and bring the ticket back. They'll be entered into a raffle, Simpson said. So this is just one of many new events that are coming up that are being sponsored by municipalities and trying to get people into our sport. Actually, where I'm sitting at is going to be hosting an event tomorrow by my camera operator, PBA, and it should be a lot of fun. It's always great to bring new people into the sport of geocaching. So for our final bit of news, well, we're going to go to one more cache, and we're going to go have a visit with the geocaching.com weblog. Till then, we're off down the road. Well, we're done our day of caching, and we're here in PBA's backyard getting ready for the evening barbecue. The dogs are running around somewhere, entertaining everybody. Good sized crowd here today. We're looking forward to a wonderful feast. Had a great day caching. Still got a news article to go, so let's carry on with the show. So next, we're going to travel down to Seattle and visit the Groundspeak headquarters and the Latitude 47 blog. It's the Geocaching Caption Contest number 13. The photo captures the joy, or more likely frustration, of finding a microcache. What caption would you write? Does the sale get the first to find? You can do better than that. The winner receives a barely coveted prize of a single cache and trash out pen. So folks, you've seen the picture. I'll have a link to it on my website, Trackfiles TV. If you have a great caption, go submit it. You might win a lovely pen. So for this episode's YouTube video, we're going back down to Groundspeak. Groundspeak's hired its own video production crew, and they have a YouTube channel called Go Geocaching, and they do some absolutely wonderful, top-notch stuff. And for this episode's video, we're going to take a look at one of their more recent videos called Extreme Geocaching. This lost and found video of an attempt to log a 5.5 cache outside Chehalis, Washington, USA, called Rivers and Lakes GC2F9CG is rated a 5.5. The rating on this cache is perhaps more than precautionary. Any hiker faces the real possibility of a serious injury on this geocache. So let's roll it and enjoy a portion of this beautiful video.
I don't think most people should attempt this.
This log is not secured.
Thank you.
So you want to make sure that you're definitely fit, like the cache page says on this one.
Rock, rock.
Big rock.
It's definitely a challenge.
Right up there, the falls, the waterfalls, it's huge.
I am Monique, or Brewer MD. This is Doug, or WD. This is Doug, or Tow Truck Doug. And this is Frank, Slinger 91.
Not Doug.
And we're going to go get a 5-5, a 5 difficulty hide and a 5 difficulty terrain.
What we've got in store for us is salmon berries, a thick wall of salmon berries, and a little thing called devil's clubs. If you've never been around devil's clubs, they're quite a treat. And slippery rocks and a lot of water.
Okay, let me get my bearings. Where are we going?
Well, we just switched to 520 feet from point 10, so we're getting closer.
So we're going that way, but the cache is up that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what a great video. Those guys really know what they're doing. Very slick work. So if you have a favorite YouTube video or you'd like to have your video featured on Trackfiles, email me, Icenrye at Icenrye.com, and it might show up on a future episode of Trackfiles. Now, let's go pick up some trash. Time for a whole series of cache and trash out events coming up soon. So for this episode's events, we're all talking trash here. CTO events. Next weekend, Saturday, September 25th, there are CTO events all over the planet. First off, there's 3 right here in the province of British Columbia. Let's have a look. We have the Great Canadian Shoreline Cleanup, Norrish Creek. In Salmon Arm, we have the Salmon Arm CTO on Shaw Road. Right here in Prince George, we had the Datslinich Lake Road Cleanup. From here, we go over to the Czech Republic for the CTO Terezin number 3. From Czechoslovakia, it's just a short hop over to Hungary for the Hungary Flash CTO version 1. From Hungary, we're going to the Netherlands from the Brabant CTO event 2010. From there, we're going to leave the Dutch and we're going to head back for Montana for the CTO at the Cliffs. And from Montana, it's just a short hop over to Minnesota for the Mississippi River CTO National Public Lands Day. Guys, these are just some of the many CTO events scheduled for Saturday, September 25th. So guys, check out the geocaching.com website. I'll have links on my site. If there's a CTO area in your event, get out to it. Do the outside a little good. So for our final segment, podcast updates. So we start off with Cache Maniacs. For this week, Daryl and Dree interview Crashmore of Central Maryland, who was a guest on the Geocaching podcast, episode 168, talking about cycling and caching. From there, we go to the Geocaching podcast, where they talk with Head Hard Hat and Trip Cyclone about their experiences with creative cache containers. And speaking of Head Hard Hat, we end up with his Geo Snippets, where he talks about creating an Evo Nano cache. So again, guys, these are just some of the many geocaching podcasts out there. And if you want a complete list, visit my site, trackfiles.tv, and I'll have links to all these episodes. So that about wraps it up for this episode of Trackfiles. I hope you enjoyed. But before we go, just a couple quick notes. First off, shout out to show sponsor Landcharts. They have sent me an absolutely wonderful care package. I got some great coins and some great stuff to give away on future contests. Stay tuned for more. Also, I got to thank plumbrokeacres for being my cameraman on this episode. It was really great to just have that little bit of help on this episode, and we had a wonderful day of caching today. Don't know how many finds I had. I had 2 or 3 first to finds. Did a great puzzle cache. Did an absolutely wonderful multi-cache. If you're ever in the Prince George area, make sure you check out the demise of the 3 Little Pigs. But in the meantime, in between time, that's it. Another episode of Trackfiles. So until the next episode, cache on.